Do you ever feel like you're living in a completely different timeline than the rest of the world? While your friends and colleagues are obsessively scrolling through feeds, refreshing their likes, and documenting every single meal, you are perfectly content just living. You might have even deleted your accounts, or perhaps you never really got into the habit in the first place. Sometimes, when everyone is laughing at a meme you haven't seen, or discussing a viral trend you know nothing about, you might feel a little out of the loop. You might even worry, just for a second, that you're missing out on the conversation. But deep down, beneath that momentary doubt, you feel a sense of quiet peace and groundedness that the people around you just don't seem to have. You look at them, exhausted by the constant need to perform online, and you realize something profound. Most people think you're missing out, but in reality, they are. They are missing out on the raw, unfiltered texture of real life because they are too busy consuming the digital one. Psychologists have found that people who opt out of social media often possess a unique psychological profile, characterized by high internal locus of control and self-concept clarity. Because they aren't constantly exposed to the curated realities of others, their nervous systems aren't wired to the dopamine cycles of validation and comparison. In this video, we'll explore the specific traits that prove you are wired differently and how to turn them into your greatest strengths. The first and most profound thing you'll notice about yourself is that you possess a solid reality anchor. You know who you are, and you don't need a digital mirror to tell you. People who use social media frequently subconsciously define themselves by how they are perceived online, their profile, their photos, their comments. You, on the other hand, define yourself from the inside out. You know your values, your flaws, and your strengths without needing an audience to validate them. This means you are actually incredibly resilient to trends and peer pressure. While others shift their personalities to fit the latest algorithm or viral challenge, you remain solid in your identity. This gives you a massive edge in life because you make decisions based on what you want, not on what will get the most approval from strangers. Because your brain isn't constantly processing a stream of digital information, it has much more bandwidth to process the sensory details of the real world. You likely notice things that others miss. The way the light hits the trees in the afternoon, the subtle micro-expressions on a friend's face during a conversation, or the complex texture of the food you're eating. You aren't watching life through a camera lens or a screen. You are living it. Far from being boring, this is why you likely have a greater appreciation for the small, beautiful moments that make life worth living. You experience life on a much deeper, richer level because you are actually there for it. This connection to reality naturally protects you from the comparison trap, which is a psychological epidemic online. When you don't use social media, you aren't constantly bombarded with the highlight reels of other people's lives. You aren't seeing someone else's vacation, body, or career promotion every 5 seconds. This protects you from a psychological phenomenon called relative deprivation, where we feel poor or inadequate just because we see people who appear to have more. You don't feel the need to keep up with the Joneses because you don't know what the Joneses are doing. This gives you a significant advantage in mental health and contentment. You are likely happier with what you have because you aren't constantly being shown what you don't have. In an economy where attention is the most valuable currency, you are incredibly wealthy. You have likely mastered the art of deep focus. You can sit down and read a book, work on a complex project, or have a conversation for hours without feeling the phantom vibration in your pocket or the urge to check a screen. Your brain hasn't been trained to expect a dopamine hit every few seconds. This means you have a cognitive superpower called sustained attention. While others are struggling to focus for more than 10 minutes without getting distracted, you can easily enter a state of deep flow. This makes you more productive, more creative, and a better learner than the vast majority of the population. This ability to focus extends directly into your relationships. Without social media, your social circle might be smaller, but the bonds are infinitely stronger. You aren't maintaining hundreds of friendships that are really just acquaintances. You are investing your time and energy in the people who are physically right in front of you. Because you aren't distracted by your phone when you're with someone, you offer them a rare and precious gift in the modern world: your full, undivided attention. This means you are an exceptional friend and partner. People feel truly seen by you. You build relationships based on shared experiences and deep conversation, not just likes and comments on posts. Furthermore, your mood is not dictated by an algorithm. You don't wake up and feel bad because a post didn't get enough engagement. And you don't go to sleep angry because you read a toxic comment section. Your emotional state is internally regulated. You choose how you feel based on your actual reality, not on the digital chaos of the internet. This is a sign of incredible emotional intelligence and stability. Far from being out of touch, you are actually more in touch with your own feelings, because you aren't letting a corporation manipulate your emotions for profit. Finally, you have a unique relationship with time itself. You see social media for what it is: a tool and often a massive time waster. You have decided that your limited time on Earth is too precious to spend watching other people live their lives. You value doing over viewing. This trait comes from a psychological concept called time perspective. You have a future-oriented perspective. You want to build, create, and experience, not just consume. This gives you a massive advantage in achieving your long-term goals. While the world is distracted by the next viral trend, you are quietly building your skills, your health, and your real life. So, if you relate to not using social media or using it very sparingly, remember, these aren't signs that you are antisocial, old-fashioned, or weird. They are signs of incredible inner strength and unique wiring. You have chosen to opt out of the noise so you can opt into your own life. You possess a level of clarity, focus, and peace that most people are desperately trying to meditate their way back into. Understanding this is the first step to embracing who you are and realizing that while they scroll, you actually live. Which of these traits felt most familiar to you? Is it the deep focus, the immunity to comparison, or the quality of your connections? I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments below. If this video helped you feel seen, consider joining as a member to support more deep psychology dives like this. Your support means the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Psychology Simplified every few days. Watch next. If you have few friends, you might have this hidden superpower.